Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the other time we talked about what happened at Green Stadium in Kericho during Mashujaa Day, and those who are in Kenya Kwanza side said that we are reading too much into that incident in terms of the substandard of construction of the stadium, the poor arrangement, the stampede, and the killing of 4 Kenyans. But now, one man, the Nandi Senator Samson Kiprotich Arap Cherargei, is coming out again to confirm what we talked about. According to Cherargei, the Green Stadium construction was substandard. It was not to the standard. He is confirming that money was channeled elsewhere instead of being put on the right project to lift the face of Green Stadium. He's putting blame on government, and as much as he would want to point on one individual, the fact remains that he's putting the blame in terms of stampede, those who are injured, and the embarrassment that we saw in that event. He's putting it on one individual, Ababu Namwamba. But once you are putting on a cabinet secretary, that means then you are putting on William Ruto's government, because Ruto is the appointing man of all those cabinet secretaries. They sit in the same cabinet and discuss issues. They pass some policies there also. Again, I have seen Kenyans responding to Cherargei, and the response from Kenyans, they are putting the blame on government, and of course, they are to some extent defending CS Ababu Namwamba, because according to Cherargei, all the failures must be put on Ababu Namwamba. And this is not the first time Cherargei is putting a blame on Ababu Namwamba. It's like they have issues there. The other time he did it during the, when we had our Kenyans going outside for athletics. Then when they came back, the manner in which they were received, among so many other things. So this is what Cherargei is saying, because we have to understand what he's talking about. Is he really exposing Ruto's government, or is just targeting an individual? And then we want to look also on the response from Kenyans to Cherargei. My heart goes out to the families and friends who lost their loved ones from stampede at Kericho Stadium yesterday. The supervising Ministry of Sports, CS Ababu Ababu, must be held responsible for this unfortunate incident. This is clear pointer of substandard work done by the ministry at the stadium. The incident embarrassed all of us. My apology to the entire country. Cherargei is confirming that all of the Kenya Kwanza leadership was embarrassed by what happened at the Green Stadium. Even when Ruto was inspecting the guard of honor, walikuwa wanakanyaga tu matope. Hiyo parade ilikuwa ni matope. So you can imagine the kind of perception from that. Na hii wanasema ni stadium. But we have several questions to ask Cherargei. How then do you single one individual that he was the person in charge of preparation of the Mashujaa Day at Green Stadium? This to me, it looked like a witch hunt. In as much we know, most of the Kenya Kwanza cabinet secretaries in their various ministries, they have failed Kenyans completely. What is not one? But by the fact that Cherargei is singling out Ababu Namwamba, then it tells you that there are other issues. He has his own differences with Ababu Namwamba. Because number one, Cherargei should have gone to an extent of pointing out who gave out the tender for the work that was going on at the Green Stadium. Who issued the tender? Was it Ababu Namwamba? And who was given that tender? Is it a Kalenjin or another person who is not a Kalenjin? Sababu ukifuatilia, it is not easy kwa hii serikali upate there is any works going on in Rift Valley na wapea different contractor, unless if it's a huge one yenye wanapea Chinese and other individuals. Lakini hizi za kawaida hapa, it's not easy. Usikie kulikuwa na Mjaluo, Mluya, Mkikuyu amepewa hiyo contract kama si majina yale yanaendanisha na hiyo tribe ya Kalenjin nation. So Cherargei should come clear and tell us about the contractor. Should tell us who gave the contract. Was it Ababu Namwamba or another individual? And if it's Ababu Namwamba, who instructed him to give that contract to the very person? Akijibu hii maswali, then from there tutajua kweli. Indeed, if he's putting a blame on Ababu Namwamba, then Ababu Namwamba should take the responsibility. Hii ni serikali inaongozwa na mtu mmoja, and Ruto, he is his own advisor. He don't take advice from anyone. He want to lead from front, and he want to do everything by himself. Nyinyi tu ni watu wa kupewa order, do this, do that. Number two, we have had several celebration, national celebration. They come with a budget. Besides that, in what was happening in Uhuru Kenyatta's government, before the day we have that celebration, you would see Karanja Kibicho, PS for Interior, number one person at that place to inspect, check the security, among other many things. You would see the former CS for Interior, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, at that very place a day before the event to inspect and indeed confirm if everything is in order. Where was the Interior CS Kithure Kindiki? And where is Kindiki in Cherargei's tweet? Where was PS for Interior Raymond Molo? And where is Cherargei indicating in his X? He's not talking about those two people. But hawa ndio watu wanakuja kuangalia and they make the final decision on that event. Hawataji mahali. So he's targeting an individual. Remember, this is the ministry that has a budget that is not audited in any way. Wako na budget na hiyo haifanywangi audit. Now here are some of the response from Kenyans to Cherargei on his X. Poleni shareholders for the loss. You now want to crucify Ababu on behalf of KK. Take collective responsibility that you have failed as a government. And another one here. You already want Ababu to be sacked as CS, but you are mute on the theft by Mandago and the crew. That is true. Mandago walifanya mambo, Cherargei hajawahi ongelea. I guess tribe has something to do with it. Let go of the Luya guy and replace him with another Kalenjin. Collins, one more time, Ababu Namwamba has become a punching bag. Why not blame the contractor first, who I am 100% sure was keep something, acting under instruction of the Mr. Kaunda Kanda Uongo man. Agree. Another one here. Stop being petty. vindictive and primitive. Other ministries being headed by your tribemen are underperforming and below par, thus expanding the current tough economic time, yet you are not calling them out, or the buck doesn't stop with them. Agoi George, was it a sport event? I am sure even if Ababu would have wanted to do a better job, he wouldn't have been allowed by your people, considering where Kericho is. If you can steal from the dead and victims of accident, Sembusahi, Kinywa, how is a stampede the result of substandard work at Kericho Green Stadium? Was it a must for the Mashujaa Day celebration to be held in Kericho? You all knew it was raining heavily there, and the field was not complete, but still insisted on having the event poorest ever. Sewe, you have not blamed Tinga and Uhuru for the mess. Kindly edit or delete your master are not happy. Okay, Onyango. Ababu Namwamba is always your bogeyman. What were those guys doing at the stadium at 3 a.m. when Kenyans were asleep? Could be there was someone being paid to people to attend the event, and that could have caused the stampede. Wangari, I wonder how you didn't blame Baba Raila Odinga for the poorest event. Thank God it was in Kericho and not Nyanza. Those are some of the response from Kenyans. I don't know your views, but let us meet in the comment section to continue with this discussion.